Before we get into this video, I just wanted to quickly announce that I now partnered up with OneFootball, and if you guys are interested in an app that covers all of your football needs, this is the one. It will give you the live scores when your favorite teams are playing, teams like Liverpool playing in the Champions League, and if you want to be up to date and you can't watch it yourself, this is the app for you. If you want news to be on your phone directly, you can go ahead and get this app as well. It will tell you about all the new transfers and so on when the transfer window is around. Get OneFootball. Link in the description down below. Hey, assistant coach, how are you guys doing? It's me, Johnny Sports, and welcome to FIFA's Got Talent. England versus France. Jadon Sancho against Mbappe. And it will be a very, very interesting video for you guys to watch. If you hit over 4,000 likes on this video, it is a pilot episode. If we get 4,000, you will get an episode a week, boys. It is going to be Jadon Sancho alongside 21 of his English teammates coming up against the beasts out of France. It is Kylian Mbappe right here with 21 of his teammates who are coming in from France. They will all be playing in the Premier League with the side of Huddersfield. FIFA's Got Talent. Let me explain to you how this works. We put all these players out of England, under 23, all of them, we put them into Huddersfield. It is going to be an England squad that plays for Huddersfield, and then it's going to be another save for France with Huddersfield as well to keep it on the same level. Let me explain to you the rules. 22 players from each team, 2 for each position. Players are aged 23 and under. Players make it into the team by being highest potential player in respective position, not highest rated player. That's actually a mistake on your screen. Players make it into the team by their main position. That is very, very important. Second and third positions are not considered. Positions such as CDM, centre mid, cam are considered same. Same rule applies to left wing, left mid, right wing, right mid, centre forward, striker. It is very important that the first position thing is understood by you guys. If a player is a centre back who has much higher potential than a right back in the team, who is originally a right back, but the centre back can also play in that right back position, that doesn't count. The right back with lower potential goes into the team because he is the highest potential right back in the squad. The rules are on your screen right now, boys. Win the league, 25 points. Top 4, 20 points. Top 10, 10 points. 11 to 17th position, that will be 5 points right there. 18 to 20th is going to be 0. And then the top scorer, top assists, and most clean sheets, if they get it done, they get 5 points for their team. The best offense and best defense, same right there, 5 points for each. Player of the month, you get 2 points for your team, and the most important one in this series is going to be every player that is growing is helping towards the point total. If a player grows from 77 to 78, that is 1 point for the team. It is going to be not compared directly, it is going to be compared separately in their saves. So the top scorer has to be the top scorer in that season, not compared to how the other team has done in the other career mode save, just so you guys understand. But we could change that in the future for sure. If you guys have suggestions to change the rules and everything, leave your comments down below. We can work on it. It is the first episode. There's a lot to work on, but it is starting right now. Also, every episode you guys have the chance to win something. So watch this video until the end and make sure that you leave your comment down below with your answer to the question that I will have at the end of this video to win something. Let's begin with the England squad, and the highest rated player in this England squad is obviously Raheem Sterling, 85 rated. The man for Manchester City is coming in down that right hand side. Rashford is down that left hand side for England. Dele Alli in the centre midfield position. These are the 3 players, the only 3 players that are above the rating of 80. Anything below that for England is looking very, very shaky. Now, Tammy Abraham is the highest rated and good potential striker for England. It is insane to see that none of these 2 teams, France and England, don't have any huge talent in terms of rating already. This 74 rating for England is already much better than a striker that you guys will get to see for France. And I think that could be the difference in these two teams. So you will get to see it in a little bit. But as I said before, the main position is what counts. Obviously, I had a lot of players that play down the wings who can also play in a striking position, who could have made it into this team above Tammy Abraham, but that is not the point. That is not what we are going for. We want the main position. We want it to keep it as fair as possible. Now, in the midfield, we go with Loftus-Cheek, with Maddison and Dele Alli. Loftus-Cheek will have to handle all of the defensive side of this team. Maddison and Dele Alli obviously known for not being the best defenders. Dele Alli will actually be able to help out big time as well, in my opinion. But Maddison is obviously going to be moving forward, the player for Leicester City. Once again, my condolences to all the Leicester City fans out there. A terrible, terrible thing that happened to your guys' club, and I hope you guys can come out of it even stronger. Now, moving on into the defense, we have Luke Shaw holding Joe Gomez and Trent Alexander-Arnold. I believe Alexander-Arnold has the highest potential in this whole England side, especially in the defense. So it is going to be very interesting to see how much he grows. Now, you might look at this team and realize that this team potentially doesn't have as many high-rated players as the France team. And yes, I get that. And I need to show you guys the reserves team as well, because we have 2 players for each position. And in this team, Jadon Sancho is in a starting lineup. For me personally, he's the biggest talent coming out of England. He's an incredible player. That is why I chose him as the main man on the thumbnail. And he could be bringing in a lot of points in terms of growth. I think he'll be growing massively. And I can't wait to see what this guy actually becomes in the future. Hopefully he remains at Dortmund and keeps improving over these upcoming seasons. I think that's the perfect team for him. But in this team, you can see again, not that many high-rated players, boys. Not that many for England. And it is looking tough in terms of rating for England. But in terms of growth, I think this England side will do better than the France side that you guys are about to see. And also, in the striking position, England is looking a lot better than France is looking. So let's jump over to the France team and let me show you who this team is competing against. And here is the much higher rated France squad with not that much room to improve. But obviously the key player in this team is Kylian Mbappe. The guy has won the World Cup. He got an 87 rating. He has the 5-star skills. He's going to be the main man in this squad 100%. No way around it. But in the striking position, this team is struggling big time. 67 rated Guiri, and you have another one on the bench, Goebbels or Goebbels. I don't know how to pronounce his name right there. Goebbels is another one that we shouldn't talk about, but they have incredibly low rated strikers. Now this team all around definitely is better, but here's the deal. It might be higher rated, but they won't be growing as fast because a lot of these players are already above the age of 20, and they have already a really high rating, and there's not that much room to grow for. So I don't see this team growing as much, and in that aspect, I think the England team might be doing better. So they definitely have the possibility of winning this series, or the first episode of the FIFA's Got Talent. Now, going down the left-hand side, we have Lemar, Aouar, Rabiot, Tolisso complete the midfield. Very, very good midfield right there. Definitely better than the England one. Hernandez, and then Kimpembe, Lenglet, and then Dubois, who is a bit low rated. Pavard was an option for that position, but he's a centre back in his main position, so he doesn't count for the right back spot. Dubois is coming in. Lafont in a goalkeeping spot, and then we can go over to the reserves team. And in this reserves team, you can see another 64 rated striker, very low rated, but then you have Dembele and Martial on the wings. You have Diop, 66 rated, quite low rated. In Ndombele, who's an amazing talent. Cuisance right there. Mendy, Upamecano, Camara, who we had in the Liverpool career mode, or who we still have in the Liverpool career mode. Gilbert, and then again, not Lafont. Maignan is in the goal. So these are the teams right now. Let me explain to you how this will work out throughout the months. So every month, I will give you guys a monthly report. In the bottom left corner, you will be seeing England's points if we would end this series right at that point, because obviously if in the first month they are in that first spot for the top scoring list, yes, they will have the 5 points allocated to them, but next month they might lose those 5 points. So in the bottom left and bottom right corner, you guys will always get to see the amount of points that those teams would have exactly at that moment that I'm showing you on screen. So you will get a monthly report, and we will get to see who at the end of this season is the team that wins FIFA's Got Talent episode 1. So let's start off with this. This is how I will be doing it, boys, just so you guys know how it runs behind the scenes. I'm just simming through the first month, and obviously the first month there's nothing to be done. We will go ahead and take a look into how the players have grown and add up the points. In the month of July, France have managed to get themselves 7 points because so far no games have been played. Let's see what England has done. Since the England players didn't have any games to be played as well in the month of July, they have actually only racked up a total of +4, which is kind of disappointing, thinking that actually they are the lower rated players. You would expect these players to grow even more, but I think next month they'll be growing massively. It's only Luke Shaw, Loftus-Cheek, the main man Jadon Sancho and Nelson growing, even though he got injured. That's an example to follow. 4 points for England. In the second month, France has managed to grow players by +10 in overall. And they had started off with +7, so only +3 in this month right here. In the month of June. No, not June. August, boys. Don't get it wrong, Johnny. They are currently in the 15th position, which only gets them 5 points in that department. And in terms of top scorers and assists, they are not looking good, and no clean sheets as well. They are struggling a little bit. The England boys are looking good. +8 in growth, boys, and big surprise in terms of the league. They have played 3 games so far and they are on 6 points. 5th position, so much better than the higher rated France team already. They are looking good and they get 10 points from that one as well. The England players are on fire right now, boys, and that goes to a total of 18 points for England compared to the 15 of France they have taken over. Now, in terms of growth compared to the last month, in this month of September, the French team has gone up to an overall plus of 13, as I can read it on the piece of paper that I've wrote down. I'm doing this meticulously, boys. We are taking a very detailed look into everything, and the player of the month has been given to Aubameyang, so there is no chance of a player of Huddersfield grabbing that one, so no 5 points given to us that way. They are in the 13th position, which gives them only 5 points, and in total right now the French side is only on 18 points, which was the same amount that the England team had last month. They can now go way ahead of France. Let's see what they can do. England have their first player growing by +2, and look at the amount of +1s. In total, 17 points already, which is nearly the same amount that France has with the growth and also the league positioning. England is killing it right now. 17 points on growth, but their main striker, Tammy Abraham, has gotten injured, and that means they have dropped down massively in the league from 5th to 15th in the matter of a month. They have gone down from 10 points extra to only 5 points. Things are not looking that good for the England team, but still, they are 5 points ahead of France with 23. France is back. They have grown a lot. A couple of players already on +2, as you can see, and they have managed to grow to an overall of 20 points already. Things are looking good for France again. The team is doing better. And also in the league table, they have been climbing back up. As you can see right here, they are in the 11th position. One more spot higher and they would have had 10 points instead of the 5 that they get for being from 11th up to the 17th position. 5 points right there for France, but they are looking very good for the future, especially with their team with the likes of Mbappe. Things could change instantly. That is 25 points for France. For the first time, a player of one of those two teams has made it into the short list of the player of the month, but sadly, Raheem Rashford has lost it against Hazard right here in the month of October, which means that Huddersfield must have done well, right? Let me show you what the team has achieved in the squad hub. You can see it right here, boys. In the overall, they have grown by a total of 21 already, looking very good. Only 1 point ahead of France though in terms of growth. We need more to come out of that department for England in the upcoming months. They are currently on 21, which is absolutely beautiful, but more to come. But most importantly, can you believe it? They are in the 4th position, top 4 for Huddersfield, the team that is lower rated. The England side is actually pulling it off, playing better than the French team. Doesn't make any sense, but Tammy Abraham is back from his injury, and that might be the issue why this England team, or that might be the reason why this England team is doing so well. And because of a top 4 place, they would be on plus 20 points right now, which gets them up to a total of 41 points. France, you better get going. You have to climb up the table. Let me show you one thing for France. Mbappe is climbing up the top scoring list. He is now on 8 goals. Whenever something happens where things get heated in these statistics, I will always show it to you guys. So whenever I don't show you the top scorers and the assists, that means that none of the players are close to getting up there. But Mbappe has had an incredible month, and because of that, he's now in the 5th position with only 1 goal behind Jimenez, who has scored 9 for Wolves. In terms of assists, they are not doing well, and in terms of clean sheets, also not looking too good for Huddersfield. But I can show you one thing. Look at that right hand side of your screen. Mbappe is the player of the month for the first time. We have a player of the month. Finally, Mbappe has picked it up for France, which means another plus 2 points that is already guaranteed in the bank of this team right here. And in terms of league standings, I can show you one thing. They are in the quarterfinals against Wigan Athletic in the EFL Cup. Again, I might need to come up with a rule. If they win trophies, I need to give them points as well. That will be done towards the end of the episode. I haven't thought about that rule. I will add it at the end of this epi. They are in the 11th position, which is another 5 points for Huddersfield right now. And in terms of growth, the team is doing very, very well. Take a look at this. A lot of plus 2s already in the squad. In total, they have 25 overall growth already in this team, plus 5 because of the 11th position in the league, and plus 2 because of them getting the player of the month for Mbappe. That results in 32 points for the French side, which then again puts the pressure onto the English side. Can they remain in the top 4? That's the big question. Now, in terms of growth, they are keeping it up. They are also on 25 overall points, which is the same as France. So things are on the same level for both of these teams. It is looking all right, but the big question is, has this team managed to stay in the top 4? No, it hasn't. It has gone down to the 9th position in the league right now, boys. 16 goals scored, 16 goals conceded. Obviously, if one of these two teams had the best attack or best defense in the league, I would give them their points as well. But right now, none of those two is actually happening. And in terms of scoring goals and assists, the England side is struggling quite a bit. You cannot see any player in the top 10 right here for goals scored and also for assists. But 4 clean sheets in the 7th spot with 4. That's at least something to look forward to. That would be 5 points. That's huge. Oh, and of course, if you put the points together, they are currently on 35 points. Gone down from 43 to 35, which is still ahead of France, but France is catching up. In terms of growth, the France team is keeping on improving. A lot of players now on plus 2, as you can see. Lafont, Upamecano, Hernandez, Ndombele, Diop, Guri. A lot of players have grown a lot for this France team. None of the players already on a plus 3, which should be happening in one of these upcoming months quite soon. But the growth was nice. They got themselves 29 overall points in that aspect. But the good thing for France is they are still in all of these competitions. They are still in the Carabao Cup. They are still in the FA Cup. And I don't think the other team is still in that Carabao Cup. I think they have dropped out, actually. So let's take a look into the Premier League standings right here for this team. They have dropped down it is not looking good right now for France. 15th position in the league. They are struggling big time, which is something that I did not expect, especially when you see the starting lineup of this team. You would expect a lot more, but it seems like they're conceding way too many goals and just not scoring enough. So, in total, considering the player of the month that they had earlier on, they are currently on 36 points. I believe this is a good chance for the England team to get some points and get to the 40s again and get a gap between them and France again. As predicted, the England squad is growing more than the France team. They have already a player on a +3 with Reece Nelson, who is now a 68 rated player. But in total, the England squad has already grown by an overall point of 33. That is very, very impressive, as you can see on your screen right there. Rashford is only on a +1, which then again tells you the high-rated players of France. Obviously, they are incredible players, but they don't have as much growth, and that's the department where this team is doing well. But I did not expect them to do so well in the league. Now, in the league, you guys know they were in the top 10 in the last month. Are they still in there? Let's take a look at it, and yes, they are. They are on 29 points right now, and as you could see in the FA Cup, they are up against Arsenal, which then probably will see them going out of the FA Cup, which then also kind of releases them from all the stress and they can focus onto the Premier League. This team right here, England, currently on 43 points. France was on 36. A big gap is starting to create. France has to catch up immediately. Now, as you guys remember, the France side was playing in a lot of trophies. In the FA Cup, they have beaten QPR and they have beaten Leicester City in the FA Cup as well. They are going far in that competition. And in the Carabao Cup, they have drawn against Manchester City twice, but they have lost in the penalty shootout in the second game against City. They are doing really well in terms of beating teams in cup competitions, but in the league, it is the 15th position for Huddersfield still. They only get 5 points from that, but Mbappe is climbing up that table. He is on 12 goals. He could still get there. He could still get it done for the team and get a massive boost in terms of overall for the points. But talking about overall, the overall rating for a lot of players has grown insanely. This team is currently looking at 39 overall plus points just from growth. That is insane. And also, let me tell you one thing, boys. These players right here, O'Brien, Payne and Coleman, these ones I will deduct as soon as the season is done. I will deduct those points, but right now I'm putting them in there as well just to make the math a little bit easier at times, just so I can go through these a little bit quicker. These ones, their points will be deducted at the end of the season. No worries at all. These guys don't belong into this one. They are loaned out. They don't have any effect on the team's performance. And with that, France are back on 46 points, 3 points ahead of England. Can they pull off a miracle, or will they drop out of the top 10? That's the question. As you guys might remember from last month, the England side had to play against Arsenal, then they have dropped out of the FA Cup. Now they are not taking part in the Carabao Cup or the FA Cup anymore. The only competition that they are still fighting for is the Premier League. And in that sentence, let me tell you, they are in the top 10. They are looking very good. England is on fire, boys. They are doing better than the French side that has a lot higher rated, which is the surprise so far out of this whole series. I cannot understand how that actually works out, because they don't have the higher rated players, but they might have a really decent defense with a lot of talents. Maybe that's the reason why. In terms of assists and goals and everything, nothing is really looking good for Huddersfield in those terms right here. But in terms of growth, for the first time, we can see both teams on plus 39 growth. both teams on the same amount of growth for the first time throughout this episode. It is getting very, very interesting. It all comes down to if the French team can actually go ahead and win a trophy, which would have to be the FA Cup. They have done really well in the last 2 games, but obviously they haven't come up against any of the huge sides. If their luck continues and they keep playing against the smaller teams, it could be very interesting to see if those 10 points that they would be getting if they win a trophy, if those points make the difference. We will get to see it, but so far the England side is on 49 points, and as you can see on your screen, the France team is on 46. It is very tight going into the last months of the season. Guys, big surprise actually. The team of France has only grown by +1. Between all of these players, only a +1 overall. That will cost them because England is growing so fast. This team is struggling. Can they pull it off? But obviously, the big question is, can this team continue in the FA Cup? I can tell you this much. They have an incredible opponent coming up. This team actually gets themselves 40 overall points in terms of growth in this month. And we continue to take a look at the league table. They are in the 15th position, not looking very good. Mbappe is dropping down. Roger from Southampton is taking over. I don't even know who that guy is, but Mbappe is struggling. But the FA Cup is on the line, and they played against Manchester United, and they beat them 2-0. Oh, actually, hold on. It's the Carabao Cup. I'm stupid. They have won the Carabao Cup 2-0 against Manchester United. 10 points. 10 points for France, boys. That takes them to a total of 40 +5 for the league positioning, +2 for the player of the month that they had, and +10 for the cup win right there. And in total, that makes it 57 points for this team. That is massive. They have made up with the lack of growth with this trophy right here. England, what about you guys? The England team is currently on +41 compared to the +39 of last month. Actually, both teams have struggled to grow, which is quite surprising. But I'm expecting a lot more growth coming out of the England side in these upcoming months because they need it. The France team has gotten themselves 10 points. They need a player of the month. They need something to happen for them right now. And the player of the months just keep going to other teams. But the good thing for them is they are still in the top 10. As long as they stay in the top 10, anything is possible for this England side. But if they drop out of the top 10, things are going to be very rough. I can see them struggling big time if they drop out of the top 10, because those 10 points that the France team has gathered, they are going to be big for them, and we can already feel it. In total, the England side is currently on 51 points. Yes, 51 points. Only +2 in this month. That is very, very low. That is the lowest amount of points added in a month. That's rough. The French team is looking good. They are not going down into the 17th position. That is not happening this season, which would result in 0 points from the league, but they are still remaining on 5 points, and they are not too far away from the top 10, to be honest with you. Currently, they are on 40 points. 44 is the top 10. The French team has taken over halfway through the season, and especially that one trophy is making huge changes in this series right here. And we go ahead into the attributes and we check out the stats, and I've added it up. They have grown by +5 this month. 45 in overall points so far for the French team. +5 because of their league positioning, +2 because of the player of the month that they had, and +10 because of the trophy. I haven't checked the player of the month for this month, but I believe it was Alexis Sanchez that I saw out of the corner of my eye. They are currently on 62 points. England was on 51. It's looking very bad right now. They need to get higher up the league table, and they need points from growth. A lot of them. The England side is not giving up. They have grown to plus 46 in growth, and it is looking very good right now. Reece Nelson on a plus 4 already, and I see a couple of people in here that could still grow to a plus 4. We will be simming this season until the last day before the next season starts, and then we will take a look into who actually is the winning team for this series. Things are looking good in terms of growth for England. That is 46 points right there, but in the league table, they are still in the top 10, and there is a 7-point gap. And on the right-hand side, you can see it. Marcus Rashford, Player of the Month. That is another 2 points for the team. And actually, you know what, guys? I've been thinking about this. I kind of feel like 2 points is not enough. Let me know in the comments down below if I should upgrade that to more than 2. Maybe like 4 would be a good option. Let me know in the comments down below about that one. But in terms of scoring goals, we are struggling. Not really any player up there. In terms of assists, again, Rashford only on 6. Top of the table is 10 for Sanchez. And right here in terms of clean sheets, the team is not doing too well. But they had a lot of wins in this last month, and they are looking good to climb up the league table even more. But I don't think top 4 is a possibility. If they can continue getting Player of the Months, things could turn around. Right now, England is on 58 points. That is only 4 points behind France. This is getting intense. Guys, the Premier League season has finished for France, and take a look at the growth. Massive growth. Insane growth within the last month for this team right here. They have gone from 45 overall growth to 55 plus 10. They knew England was coming for them, and they have stepped it up big time. England, the pressure is on you. 55 overall growth. That is insane. And then in the league table, they have finished this season at a 14th spot with 47 points, which is such a huge surprise to me. I don't understand how that is even possible. This team has so many good players in there, but I think the key was that they only had that one striker on such a low rating. He was a big issue in this team, in my opinion. But moving forward, they have the one Player of the Month, which is a +2. They get a +5 because of the 14th position, and they get a +10 because of winning the trophy in the Carabao Cup. So now it only comes down to growth in these upcoming months, this month of May and the month of June. Towards the end of June, we will see what happens with the players. But man, some players have grown massively for France, and they are currently on 72 points to finish off the season. You guys remember, England was on 58. Can they turn it up in the last month? Can they get another Player of the Month award? That is the big question. Can they get it done somehow? We'll get to see it now. Guys, it is getting intense. No, England has not managed to get the Player of the Month, but yes, but they have grown on overall from last month's 46 to 57 in this month. It's mental. It's absolutely mental. It is a point gap of I'm gonna tell you about it in just a second. Hold on, let me show you the league table right here. They have finished just about in the top 10, 48 points. That is 10 points for them. Such a better finish than the French team. Just doesn't make any sense how that team is doing so bad, and it doesn't make sense how this team is doing so well. But I'll take it, boys. They have not been doing well in the cup competitions, and that might be their downfall. But in the league, they have gotten themselves 10 points. They had one Player of the Month, which is +2, and that equals up to a 69-point total. England 69, France 72. These last few days of the season will be deciding which one of these teams actually decides, and which one of these teams actually goes ahead and wins this competition. It's huge. It's a big battle. Only a 3-point gap. We might actually be looking at a draw at the end. Let's take a look into it and see who gets it done. Here we go. The finale of the episode is here. And if we put together all of the growth in this team, we get to a total of 57. But then, taking away the growth of O'Brien, Payne, and also Coleman right here, we get to an overall growth point total of 52 points. Which then again, +5 for the league positioning, +2 for one player of the month, and +10 for the title that they have won. That gets us to 57, 59, 69 points in total. Now, as you guys remember, England had 69 as well, but obviously we will have to deduct the points of Coleman, Payne, and the other guy in the England team as well, and then we will see what happens. Can England get it done? France has only grown by +2 in these last 1.5 months. That could be crucial. Guys, it's been done. Here are the final results. The team has grown massively. So much growth in this team, it's unbelievable. In total, the England side has grown by 59. And if you take away Payne, Coleman, and O'Brien, which is a -4, you get to a total of 55 points. +10 for their placement, which is 65, and +2 for their finish as the player of the month, and that takes us to 67 points. France have won by only 2 points. It happened, boys. It was an intense race between the low-rated England side and the high-rated amazing talents of France. They have gotten it done. France have won the first episode of FIFA's Got Talent, and here right now is the moment for you guys to hit that like button if you enjoyed this series. 4,000 likes and I will do another episode. If not, I will not do it, and I will try and come up with other ideas. And if you have suggestions for future episodes, comment down below. But here's the time for you to see if you can win something in the next episode. Next episode, it will be Brazil versus Spain. If this series continues, I want you to leave your comment down below with Brazil or Spain, and whoever wins in the next episode, I will draw a winner out of the people in the comments down below, and I will give away some FIFA points to you right there. Okay, boys, thank you so much for watching this. This was a great like something that I've worked on for a long time, and I really hope you guys enjoyed it, man. If you did, make sure to support this series, and I will continue doing it. Thank you so much for watching. This was so much fun for me to record something completely new, and we can definitely work on the points system, boys. We can work on all of it. Also, one thing that I might want to ask you actually is, should we, instead of comparing the top scorers to the top scorers of the league, should we just compare who is the top scorer for England? Like for our team, the top scorer has been, let me just check that real quick. We had 13 goals with Rashford. So should Rashford's 13 goals get us points against Mbappe? I do believe though that Mbappe had more goals, so he would be the top scorer. I'm gonna check it out real quick. Mbappe would have been on, let me see, Mbappe is on 19 goals. So Mbappe basically would have won the top scorer if we compare it directly. Should I go that way? So that way we will also have a best offense and best defense award as well, which would make a difference. I think that is the smarter thing to do. So I might do that in the next episode. Let me know in the comments down below though. And for the player of the month, should it be 4 points? It happens so rarely. We should maybe go for 4 points. And also, should I continue doing this in the Premier League? Should I go into another league where it might not be as competitive and these teams actually could be winning the title? Let me know, guys. A lot of things to work on. This was just the first episode. A lot to come. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Take care. Peace.